conversation we're going to have about this. It's only a timeout, and I think that remains true.
So in the meantime, what do we do about higher education? For example, in healthcare, are we just in for another couple of years of very constrained budgets?
Well, I think at least in 2009, in the budget that we have submitted, it is just that. It is a constrained budget. It's a constrained budget environment because of where the economy is. You know, in healthcare, again, this is a place where I'm very hopeful that having Senator Obama become the president, that over time we will have a healthcare policy in this country that can mesh the efforts of states. When the 208 Commission returned their report, they suggested that we go about incremental reform because I think they understood that the voters of the state were not going to vote for a $1.2 billion health care plan and pay that money into a broken system. The fixing that needs to happen, we believe, has to happen nationally, and having the right person in the White House who understands the need to do that is important. Senator Obama has long been a proponent of fixing the healthcare system and doing it at the national level, partnering with states to do it. So that's where we're very helpful for him.
We got time for one or two more questions.
Governor, when are you going to...
Todd?
Governor Ritter, thanks. Hey, it's sort of the same question as Bernie on 58. Any thought this early to maybe taking another stab at something like 58 inch? So would you consider reshaping it in some way?
Well, I think the most important next step for us is to get through the rulemaking process. There's been a lot of discussions about 58 and the rulemaking process, and at the end of the day, we're very pleased that most of the votes that have come through the Oil and Gas Conservation Commission have been unanimous votes. And they've been unanimous votes where industry agreed with the rest of the commission about how we should reshape those rules. And really, if we do that, then I think it is possible for us to sit down, and we've done this with respect to the rulemaking, sit down with the CEOs and just talk about the severance tax picture and see if there's any common ground. And that'll be sort of the next thing we do after the rulemaking. We've forged a very good relationship with many of the CEOs through this rulemaking process where we've been able to find common ground, and there is, I think, some hope on our part that may be the case as well.
Who's going to be on your 7-person panel? Can you give us some examples of
We're putting it together today. We haven't talked to any. We've been looking at names and have a list of names, and we're going to sort of get down to the 7 and then probably call them today or tomorrow. We'll release those names hopefully by the end of the day tomorrow or Friday.
Governor, other than the disappointing loss by Bernie Busher, how do you feel generally about how the legislative races came out? There's one possible pickup in the Senate that's, I think, still to be decided.
Is it still? I think it's
Has that been nailed down now?
Is it?
I think it's automatic recounts.
It's what?
It's automatic recounts.
This is a Lori Clapp,
Linda
Newell race.
So other than that, and do you feel with those results that that's any sort of referendum on you and Democrats generally?
You know, it's interesting because we get asked this question about whether or not this state is blue. And I just think it's the candidates. At the end of the day, it's a referendum on the candidates. Linda Newell is a great candidate. Lori Clapp's a person who had experience serving in the House, but Linda Newell ran an extremely good race, and you know, it is a pickup seat for us. It looks like, I think, I thought that it had been decided, so it sounds like it may be within the recount margin, and if it's recounted, we hope that Linda Newell picks that up. But the voters of this state, you know, we're a third, and the unaffiliated voters, the moderate Republicans and moderate Democrats, at the end of the day, they're the people who decide this, and they want pragmatic, you know, solution-driven leadership, and I really believe that remains the case. I believe at the end of the day, it's why Barack Obama won as well, because I think he provided that sort of resonance with the independent voters. The polling for Barack Obama changed as independent voters began to go his way, and I think we'll see when we do the crosstabs that you know, again, he won among independent voters, and that was important for him. So I'm happy, right, that we have these majorities, but it's important for all of us as Democrats, whether you're in the majority in the House and the Senate, or myself, or the congressional delegation, or even the 2 United States senators, that we still understand that in this state we have, I think, a state where we're not a color. We're not red, we're not blue. We're a state with a significant number of independents and moderates who just want you to govern well. They want you to govern as a centrist, and they want you to really tackle, these big issues, the quality of life issues. So, thank you all.